Episode 2, a quick salvage run, sees the Colossus finally arrive at the car, and to everyone's surprise, they're left with nothing but destroyed ruins and leftovers from the First Order's battle with the Resistance. In desperate need of fuel and supplies, Kaz suggests that he and the pirates go inspect to the wreckage of the First Order dreadnought, as there should surely be still something left to salvage, and with their options limited, then Doza and Yeager agree. Elsewhere in space, the First Order learn of the Colossus' location, after Tam hands over Kaz's message to Tyranny Empire due to Rucklin threatening to out her if she doesn't. Once the First Order arrive at the car, a battle ensues which sees Kaz and the crew rushing to get back to the Colossus with the coaxium they found on the dreadnought. With some sophisticated handling from Niku, the coaxium is eventually loaded in, and the Colossus once again escapes the clutches of the First Order. This episode was without a doubt an improvement over the series premiere in my opinion. Here not only did we get a healthy dose of comical moments from the pirates, but also a great sense of excitement and tension that the premiere unfortunately lacked. With that said, one of the things that I was concerned about going into this episode was if it would even bother explaining Rucklin's defection to the First Order. Mainly because I was worried that he would simply just show up in First Order gear, and the show wouldn't even try to explain or acknowledge his defection. And unfortunately, that exactly happens, which suffice to say, bothered me. Especially considering we never see Rucklin join up with the First Order or even hear him being a fan of theirs. So his inclusion here seemed forced, which again, wouldn't be the first time the show has tried to force something in. Fortunately, everything else in this episode was very good. The tense moments of Kaz and the crew not only trying to obtain the coaxium, but also safely transport it back to the Colossus, while at the same time attempting to carefully load it in, all of the possibility of it exploding and causing a huge catastrophe was great. Even though we obviously know everyone survives this episode, I still appreciated how the writers put something very important on the line here. It was also interesting to learn that Kaz's father was still alive, but at the same time, I don't know, the whole thing seemed rather suspicious. He just happened to be off-world when Hosnian Prime was destroyed and yet also somehow knows the First Order identified Kaz. And bounty hunters are after him now too? Then yeah, seems a bit too much of a coincidence if you ask me. And I gotta say it, I loved the addition of the battle scene. Seeing the Aces back in action put a big smile on my face. I was already getting worried of how little screen time they were getting in Season 2, but seeing them take part in this episode put my concerns to rest. And I'm pretty sure this battle will be a big reason for the next episode, where Kaz and Yeager officially join up Ace Squadron and teach them how to properly fight. As this battle once again showed that the Aces aren't fighters but racers, so while they're great avoiding shots coming their way, they're not the best at throwing it back. It's also pretty clear that both Kaz and Tam holding secrets away from their superiors will eventually come back to haunt them later down the road, as I can't imagine Yeager and Doza being all that thrilled to learn that Kaz has been contacting the enemy this entire time, while it kind of seems that Tam is having second thoughts about Kaz and the First Order. I mean, her sigh of relief as the Colossus escaped pretty much said it all. Overall, I had a lot of fun of this episode, way more than I did of Season 1 at this point. So if that's not a good indicator of this season already excelling over the previous one, then I don't know what is. But that was my take on this episode of Star Wars Resistance. Let me know what you all thought about it in the comments down below. And if you haven't already, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.